Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Morning Inspiration for Tuesday, December 22, 2020. Today we're going to be looking at Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. But before we do, I'm going to be sharing with you some facts about the brain from livescience.com. The human brain is a command center for the human nervous system. It receives signals from the body's sensory organs and outputs information to the muscles. The human brain has the same basic structure as other mammal brains, but is larger in relation to body size than any other brains. The human brain is the largest brain of all vertebrates relative to body size. It weighs about 3.3 pounds or 1.5 kilograms. The average male has a brain volume of 1,274 cubic centimeters. The average female brain has a volume of 1,131 cubic centimeters. The brain makes up about 2% of a human body's weight. The cerebrum makes up 85% of the brain weight. It contains about 86 billion nerve cells, neurons, your gray matter. It contains billions of nerve fibers, axons and dendrites, the white matter. These neurons are connected by trillions of connections or synapses. We're not going to be going too deeply into the anatomy of the brain, but I'd like to share with you that the brain is an organ, but the mind isn't. The brain is a physical space where the mind resides. The mind is the manifestation of thought, perception, emotion, determination, memory, and imagination that takes place within the brain. Mind is often used to refer especially to the thought processes of reason. Now we know that everything that we need is in the Word of God. So we are now going to be looking at Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. The Apostle Paul says, "Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things." Now let us break this down. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are in line with facts and reality, whatsoever things are free from deceit, truthful and sincere, whatsoever things are moral, right and fair, whatsoever things are free from contamination, not mixed, whatsoever things are lovely, beautiful, delightful, pleasant, of good report, if there be any virtue. Virtue means of high moral standard. If there be any praise, praise to God, then think on these things. Very often, if we're not careful, we get carried away in our thoughts. We have to have a disciplined mind. We cannot allow our minds to be manipulated by the whims and fancies or opinions of those around us. If someone approaches you and says something negative about another person, then it means that your thought process would not be in line with what the Apostle Paul is admonishing us to do. Whatsoever things are true. So if somebody comes to share something with you, whether it is gossiping or simply their opinion, if it cannot be proven to be factual, if it cannot be proven to be a reality, then you ought not to encourage that sort of conversation. Whatsoever things are honest. So if somebody comes to you and is sharing something with you, or if you're sharing something with someone, it must be free of deceit. It must be truthful and sincere. Very often I find that when people think about sin, they think about sexual sins. And we know that sexual sins are wrong. But as wrong as sexual sins are, sins in our minds and our thoughts will lead to sins in our actions, sins in the body. We have to be careful to ensure that as we go through each day, we focus on what the Apostle Paul is asking us to do, to ensure that our thoughts are pure, our thoughts are just, our thoughts are true, our thoughts are lovely, our thoughts are praiseworthy. because what is in our hearts will be reflected in our minds and demonstrated through our actions. It is up to you to ensure that you so discipline your mind that you do not allow your mind to be infiltrated by any thoughts or opinions or any sort of actions from external forces that will contaminate your thought processes. The brain is the epicenter of the body. It is the command center of the body, and you have to control your thoughts. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. You know, my friends, it's always a pleasure to have you with us. We look forward to having you again tomorrow. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. We want to make sure that we have as many persons as possible getting these messages. Have a beautiful day.